Okay, we're gonna go for the third time to try and get this conversation going. Welcome everybody who hasn't seen this yet, and welcome to people who have joined for the third time. This call is going to be about using your vision to connect and to create the life that you always wanted. How that's going to drive you in your life. Sound simple? Sound easy? I'm going to be joined by Mark Usher, and Mark is a great mentor of mine who I had a conversation with 2 weeks ago, and has really changed my direction and changed my approach to how I'm manifesting my life that I want. So we're trying to get him online. We've been trying to get him online now for 2 different broadcasts, and this is the third one right now. And this is not an opportunity for this is an opportunity for me to listen to what's happening, why this isn't happening, rather than complaining and going, oh God, technology isn't working in my favour and I don't know what to do about it. I just want to connect to the vision that I have for this call to manifest this conversation. So he's watching. Now let's try and add. Please work this time. This would be worked. It has the adding, pulsing, adding. But this happened before. Yes! Yes! It's great, it works. Fantastic. Mark.
We got there. We got there. Okay. Yeah, look at finally just after 20 minutes of seeing still shot.
Yeah. It's actually a moving picture. Look how technology
how am I coming through there?
You're good. Absolutely.
Yeah, Miles sort of spotted it right, like here in rural Roscommon, like the sheep were getting in the way. I think the telecommunication signals just weren't getting through the flock of sheep, so I bet them with a stake on the went. Don't worry, I didn't hurt anybody. No cruelty was caused. So let's jump in here. Finally.
Okay, let's start first of all with doing just a bit of breathing, just to ground ourselves back into this, because there's a lot of stuff just going on. Okay, so I'll lead this, and what we're basically going to do is we're going to do 5 breaths, where we're going to inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. Okay, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale.
And exhale!
And exhale. And 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Inhale. And taking all that tension of all the stuff that's happened in the background. And exhale. Okay. So now I feel nice and grounded in the present moment. What's happening. So what this call is basically about is connecting to your vision and using that vision to manifest the life that you always wanted. And this is something that you really helped me with, Mark, in the last 2 weeks. Definitely with the conversation we had, that was extremely powerful for me to have the conviction and have the imagination to feel what my vision was. And what that is for me, I found, is that I really want to inspire people through coaching. I want to create a coaching practice that's going to influence so many people's lives and facilitate them finding the answers in themselves to connect their vision to the gifts and talents that they have. And that will allow them to basically empower themselves and empower everybody around them. And on top of that, I want to host retreats. I want to host retreats all over the world that are global, that really impact a lot of people, and create communities that people can be conscious together and start finding the impact and the power that they have internally, because that's what I feel that I have done in my journey, and it's really benefited me. So I'm going to direct the same question to you, Mark. What is the vision that you have that is driving or is inspiring you to do the great work that you're doing?
Well, first of all, I just start and just acknowledge like the incredible depth of the vision that you allowed come out during that coaching call, because I acknowledge you said just how I helped you through it, but I mean, that was already there. And I think that's an important thing to sort of just put forward in this conversation, is these visions are there. We just need to create the circumstances around us that allows that to come out as purely and as powerfully as it did with you. Like, you know, I effectively didn't really do much for you. I just sat back and like give the odd little nudge, but it just, the poetry, the beauty of your vision came out. You're now getting just these powerful details to it. So, you know, it's wonderful. That was just inspirational to be in that sort of courage. It takes courage to come out with that vision. To answer your question about my vision, Fergus, my vision, I just want to, if you don't mind, and those that are listening in don't mind, I'm going to give it just a little bit of a tiny background as to where my vision has sort of sharpened up in recent times. There was, over the summer in Longford, there was Longford TEDx Longford, and there was, what, 5 or 6 speakers on the night. I went to it and I didn't know what to expect, but 3 of the speakers were speaking about climate change, and effectively, like, they were quite dark in the predictions, maybe very accurate in the predictions, but I had heard a lot of stuff. Like, I don't keep myself, I don't think, too ignorant about the effects of what's going on in the world. But whatever happened that night, Fergus, it rattled me. I mean, the picture that they painted and the time scale that they painted it in. And I was really looking, one of the speakers really just said, she was like, it mightn't be in your lifetime, but it's like, look at your kids at home. And I immediately just thought of, you know, life on Earth, humanity, future. That's like the world that I'm helping create by default, or consciously creating with my thoughts, my words, and my actions for my children. I got 2 wonderful, the miracles of my life, the most precious things in my life are my 2 youngest kids and my wife, but like our 2 daughters, Anya and Elena, they're 8 and 4. And then I think of their friends, and I think of, you know, all the kids, the next generations. When I'm dead and gone, what am I leaving behind? And on that night, Fergus, like, I'm not going to hold back. It scared me shitless. It rattled me hard. And for 2 or 3 days, like Matilda, what was said to me at the time, it's like she was finding it hard to connect with me. Normally I'm sort of quite bubbly, I'm open, you know, I keep a nice optimistic view in life, but I was really lost for those days. And I think it was the 3rd day, I just really came to, I realized what it was. I didn't actually, I say it now with great, you know, like with great awareness, but it was 2 or 3 days. I didn't actually fully know for 2 days what the feck had got into me. I think I was in a state of denial. But day 3, I woke up and I was like, it's actually the future of the planet, and it's the future of humanity, and it's the future. And it's like, and it's my part in that. And for those 2 days, Fergus, I didn't feel I had a vision. I didn't feel I had a way to influence life. And I was just downright scared, feeling really so small, so intimidated by the enormity of what potentially we're walking towards. Now, where my vision comes out of that, though, Fergus, is on that 3rd day, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was feeling all this fear. And then this sort of an inner calm came over me. And, you know, whatever words, I'll sort of use the words, like I connected with my soul. My soul started, I heard the whisper of my soul. And it sort of came up, Fergus, along the lines of, it's like, if all hell is to break loose, you know, if the 4 horses of the apocalypse, if the fucking, like, if the ice caps melt, if we're gushed with water, if we are doomed, if we're royally, like, trolloped, we're screwed. We're just ants ready to be squished by the circumstances around us. I made this pact with myself, with my soul, with God, with the energy of the universe that day. I said, okay, if that's what's inevitable, if that's what's going to happen, I made an inner commitment to, it's a bit like ride off into the sunset on a horse, riding towards that future, but doing it with a smile on my face, loving life, just laughing in the face of the totality of it all. So from that energy, from those couple of days and that sort of inner pact that I made that day, and you will have felt that sort of energy and that sort of directness. My vision, Fergus, now is I see through my eyes. This is my vision. And like that's where a visionary sees his vision. So my vision is an unstoppable emerging of consciousness in humanity around the planet. I see it as unstoppable. And I don't know, is it a power of having this vision? But it seems like every single person I speak to, young and old, all want to play a part in this. All have something divine within them to add to it. And so my vision is for myself. I think you actually mapped out the practicalities of my vision too, possibly holding retreats, top end coaching, all of those, they were the details. But it's really the essence of the vision, and possibly very similar to your own, is to just live my life in an unstoppable manner, living courageously, literally from my heart, from my soul, and helping connect every single human I interact with. I have the honor of spending a minute in conversation with. I get to glance. I get to spend a weekend with, wherever it is, to help connect them with that inner essence, with that vision that they have, with that knowledge, deep inner knowledge from their soul, that they have something divine. They have a divine part to play in the unfoldment of what's going on. And that's my vision. There's a little bit of a long way around, but that's what's coming out.
That's really inspiring, really authentic as well. And I feel that, it's very powerful. I feel my whole legs are shaking, and I can feel the ground shaking because I can connect so well with what you're actually saying. And I think it's reminiscent, and it's kind of a metaphor for the hero's journey in essence. You go through all your trauma, and you go through what you want to do as a person, and from that you get so much inspiration from finding what your vision is and finding what you want to inspire in the world, that you just want to give back. Then as a coach, you want to help people and help others to do the exact same. And that's the approach that I take with my coaching as well. When I'm interacting with somebody, when I'm talking to a client online, or when I'm just talking to somebody on the street, I want everybody to be the best that they can be. And that's by connecting to their vision, by realizing the gifts and the special talents that they have. Maybe you mightn't realize it right now, but honestly, everybody who's watching this, who's not watching this, has special, unique gifts and talents that are to be shared with the world, because everyone benefits from them. And I hear so many people say, and it's very disempowering, it's just not true, that I'm not good at anything, I can't do anything, I don't have a vision like yours. But it can't be true, because there's always signals, there's always opportunities for you to listen to what's going on. Steven Spielberg actually said a great thing. It's like, what you really want to do in your life, it always whispers, it never shouts. So there's always a whisper going on, and it's about being aware to that and listening to it. And then you will find something that you will love so much that everybody will be inspired around you, and you will empower the best life that you've ever had. And it's just a really powerful metaphor to use, and I really believe that everybody has this within themselves to find this and go and do it.
Yeah, well, it's just with what you say, the words of Steven Spielberg, it always whispers, it never shouts. You asked me, the topic for this was, just to remind myself, how to connect to the vision of the life you always wanted. And I got reflecting on that. And one major thing that comes up for me, and what I helped bring you through, and what I had guys go through in that, definitely in the first session or first one or two sessions that I work deeply with guys, is in that coaching, it's helping facilitate people to detach from the identity that they have for themselves. Okay, what I mean by that, Fergus, and to people that they're listening in, is, Tony Robbins central to his teachings is that, our behavior, we will behave in absolute congruence with the identity that we have as a person. Okay, so if we sort of are looking at ourselves as we're just tipping along, and we might struggle with our fitness, and we're just making ends meet, and like we sort of celebrate the weekends, sort of, oh shit, roll on Friday, and we just have this identity going, and we're just coasting along. We're just doing enough that's necessary. We mightn't be so passionately engaged. We do just what is necessary, but we know we're not fully alive. But there's an identity that is driving that. Okay, so what I find with guys is, with so many people that are coming from this, that maybe, with the likes of yourself, might have been a little bit easier to jump in there, even though, like, yourself, anytime when you really pitch it, and I really, like, it was roasting hot, like you roast a guy in high-end coaching, you put the flame under to bring it to the highest pressure for you. You had a massive amount of sort of momentum garnered anyway from your own personal growth. But you put that pressure on, and it's to create a circumstance in that conversation or in that person's environment where they can feel that they have the permission to stop acting out as the person that they feel they are in this moment. Okay? That they feel they are up until now. And that's why I do this sort of a 12-month future vision. And then I playfully bring people, it's like, okay, well, in 12 months' time, what's your ideal vision? Your ideal vision of yourself as a human, of your body, of your business, of your gift to the world, of your, like, what difference you want to make to the world. And there's an amazing, miraculous thing that happens. It takes a little bit of tweaking, but like every person that I get in front of me, they get there. Because everybody wants to get there. We want to drop all this self-limiting stuff. We know inherently it's crap. We're just a little bit scared that, if we open up, we'll get hurt. But when you create those circumstances around them, and somebody feels safe, they know, okay, this is sacred, and then they unleash. In a 12-month, when we think of in 12 months' time, or if we think in 5 years' time, we sort of feel safe. We feel safe to go, well, maybe I don't feel I'm able to do that now. But yeah, I can playfully sort of go, well, in 12 months, I could have the capacity to do that in 12 months. There's time. Or 5 years, yeah, there's time. If somebody's really, really ground in on that sort of solidified identity, you might push it out to 10 years. Now their mind, a rational mind that says, I can't do it, I can't do it. I can't do it. I struggle to stick in a diet for a day. So how the fuck can I do this massive thing with my job? I struggle to exercise. I struggle with my money. That identity, that rational mind, sort of just pisses off for a few moments. It goes for the duration of the call. And then what starts spilling out is this inner vision that I believe, and you believe the same, every person knows they have something. Write a book, to start a club, to start a business, to, like, whatever it is. They know, they've had the signs, it's been whispering there, but it's just allowing themselves just a crack to see it and to appreciate it and to expand upon that. How does that sit with you, Fergus?
Yeah, just allowing themselves to, absolutely, I definitely resonate with that. Allowing people to if you're creating a space for people to go towards that vision and to see what's possible, no matter how spontaneous and how boasty, or like regardless of society and all, like family conditioning all pushing down on you, telling you you can't do something, or telling you that there's no jobs in this, there's no way you can do that. I feel that when you're able to meditate on where you can be in 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, you drop everything that is limiting you and you connect with what's possible. And that connects you with the possibilities in your life. And then once you bring yourself back to the present moment, you start to realize, with the amount of inner work and the internal struggles that you start to go through, that it's actually, the possibilities are right here. It's not in a year, it's not in 2 years, it's right here, right now. It's in the present. Yeah. What is, like, why can't I do it right now? And this is, I definitely resonate with what you said about playing a character and being attached to an identity, because for my own life, a year and a half ago, that's exactly what I was connected to. The identity of somebody who just wanted to make enough money to survive. And I created that vision. And it was just to the point where I was just comfortable living in a comfort zone and not pushing myself and not growing. I got to a point where I was just stagnant. And that was me attaching myself to an identity that I had built. And that manifested in my relationships, in my own personal relationship, which is the most important. And when I interacted with a lot of different people, I would put on this persona of, oh, I know what's going on, I know what's happening. But when you identify and when you let go to what you think you know what's happening, you start to see the possibilities. Because nothing is fixed, everything's changing all the time. So you might be here right now, but in 5 minutes I could be grabbed by a security man and thrown out of the park. I don't know what's going to happen. And that is just allowing myself to just let go and surrender to possibilities that are happening. And that happens all the time when you're trying to manifest a vision, when you're connecting to something that you love to do. All you, like, the simple step is just to listen what you love to do as a child and start doing them things again, to experiment, to see, do I actually love this? Because if you have one vision that you think is fixed and you'll go towards that, you might find that that's actually not what I want to do. You might have a vision of being a professional dancer, and then you go towards that, and you might figure out that actually that's not leading me to be a professional dancer. That's just leading me to teach. And that just comes with surrendering and doing what you love, and just doing it in every single moment, and then connecting then further to what that vision is. Because I might have a vision right now of what's going to happen. In 20 minutes or in 30 minutes, some magical revelation or something will happen for me, of course, that will point me in some other direction. And I'm open to that. I'm open to them possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing, like, what I'd offer to, well, a reminder to myself, a reminder to you, but a reminder to people that are tuning in. It's, you know, it's very often when I talk with people, coach people, or just random conversations on this sort of a topic of visions or having a dream or knowing, like, this sort of knowing, finding what your passion is. And there's lots of different ways of speaking about it, but they're sort of talking about the same essence, I think, for people. And a lot of people struggle with this, that I don't have a vision or I don't have a passion. But a bit like what you're saying there, it's like, you know, I feel it's like if you don't know your passion or you don't know your vision, if that's what your head is telling you, the one suggestion, like, it's a suggestion, and, like, to be honest, anybody listening, you know, and we're all free. There's no right or wrong in this. There's actually, like, a life lived out just in the comfort zone, in, like, in what you're doing and in what you're, like, you just go with the belief systems that you're comfortable with now. You do that to the day you croak. You transition into the next word or whatever your belief system says you go, cool. There's no good. It's not the better person that follows a passion and the other person that hangs back. I think that's important, because there's a lot of, in culture, a lot of sort of motivational speaking that you have to follow your passion and you have to do this and you have to do that. That just adds to the long list of people out there that are telling us what we have to shag and well do, from the government to our teachers to our parents to motivational speakers to, you know, like, you don't have to do anything. However, if there is this element of you that you recognize that you would like to know a little bit more, and you would like to nudge, and you would like to live a life that's just a little bit more exciting, a little bit more happy, a little bit more passionate, whatever that is, or you would genuinely like to nudge in and find this vision. What I'd say is, like, okay, if your mind at this point now is not connected with it, or you feel you don't have a conscious connection, maybe it's tucked there at the back here, like you'll recognize in a couple of weeks, couple of months, in a coaching session, whatever, in a conversation, it'll just go bing, wow, eureka. But if you're not at that moment now, cool, relax. But whatever you're doing in your life now, you know, if you're working in a job and you don't, it's, you know, that's just not the job for you. That's not your dharma. That's not your life purpose. However, can you start living that job when you turn up with passion? Okay, it mightn't be your way. You might recognize, okay, it's not my way, because I'm working at a till, I'm working serving food, I've dedicated 7 years to studying to become a top doctor, and your emotional system is now telling you, crappy, you know, I've spent all that time, this is not for me. That's okay, but, you know, to find a vision, to get in touch with a vision and your passion, live passionately, you know, turn up in whatever your life scenario is, turn up and smile. people can say, oh, but like I have this going, I have that, but just you have the capacity. We all have the capacity that if we decide above everything else to just control how we feel, we can turn up and say, I'm going to smile no matter what. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be, you know, if it's working as a doctor, but that isn't your thing. But for today, I'm going to be passionate. I'm going to be the most passionate doctor I can be. I'm going to be the most passionate bartender I can be. I'm going to be the most passionate bus driver I can be. I'm going to like do it with a smile with people, engage people. And you know what will happen? What happens is passionate people resonate with passionate people. And there's this miracle that happens. You know, you just start turning up with enthusiasm, with passion. Then a passionate person, somebody who sort of has this twinkle in the eye, maybe, you know, they've been living passionate a little bit longer, a little bit more conscious about being happier, and maybe they've sort of tuned into what their vision is and what their passion is. And now you're going for a cup of coffee with them, or now you're going into their social group, or now you're after bumping into Fergus around the streets of Dublin, or you got completely lost in the back arts of Roscommon and you bumped into Mark Usher.
It can't happen, you know.
Any sheep allergies, just you won't find me. But any of you that are okay with sheep allergies and the smell of sheep shit and horse shit, there's a chance that you will bump into me. But you'll bump into somebody. But have you found that, Fergus? And I asked the people that are there, sort of, I know there's some wonderful people just tuning in. You know, have you found that when you sort of turned around your inner intentions, how you were turning up from the inside and you took control there, did you just find that there was this sort of a funny thing that happened, that happy people you started meeting them, you started meeting people that seemed really interesting, you started finding people, you know, in your travels or just on the bus station at work, and you were thinking, wow, you're doing that? Did that happen for you, Fergus?
Yes, I do feel that, because I found that when I got into personal development, when I started to basically make this impact and started to connect with other people on this, all my tribe started to become these type of people. So the people I'm surrounded with right now are all into personal development themselves, are all into try and transform their lives and change everything that's going on with them. And I'm manifesting amazing mentors. I'm talking to great people who are doing amazing things in their lives. And that's because I'm chasing my vision. That's because I am in the present, actively searching to grow and learn. And that is directing the people to me of what I want to do. Because I really feel that, and this is something that I love to base my stuff off, is that everything that you feel internally, everything that you're manifesting internally and that you feel is going to resonate on the external. So when you're putting out, when you're declaring and proclaiming out, this is what I want to do with my life, the people are going to attract to that. And maybe it's the power of the universe, maybe it's God, maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but it just brings it to you like a magnet. So I'm connecting with people right now that are just, it might not even be in the field that I'm doing. It might be an amazing musician who's just going passionate on what they're doing. It might be an artist, it might be a videographer, a video editor. But I resonate with them because they're going after what they love and they're relentless in that. They want to inspire people through music. They want to inspire people through their art. And that really helps me to connect with them. And by doing that, it empowers me as well, because it becomes a value exchange then, where I'm not playing a character for them to like me. I'm just being myself. I'm just being passionate. They're resonating with that. I'm resonating with the fact that they want to connect with people like that. And it just creates flow and deeper relationships where you can start to really make impact on their lives. And it's just constant back and forth inspiration and direction in what's going to make us more effective in what we want to do with our lives and the lives that we want to shape. And I'm so blessed right now to have amazing people around me, even on like people from across the world in America that I'm connecting with that are doing great things over there. People here in Ireland, like I only found you through a guy and a mutual friend, Nathan Seward, who said, you have to speak to this Mark Usher fella. And I was like, there's another personal development coach in Ireland that's doing this stuff. And he's like, yes, you have to connect. And it was that brought me to you. That's definitely true. Because I was putting myself out there. I messaged maybe 50, 100 different people saying, What is it? What is your vision? What do you want to inspire with the world? And that really helps you connect as well. That's actually a great action step for anybody watching this. If you want to stimulate your vision and you want to find out something, you have endless Facebook friends. I'm sure everybody here has over 400 or 500 friends. Start messaging them to find out what they're doing. Don't just have them sitting in your friends list waiting for them to like your content. Actively talk to these people, because they have something and they have unique gifts and talents that you can learn from as well. And I definitely find that I don't like to keep people in my friends list stagnant. I want to be active and knowing who they are. And that just stimulates me, empowers me, and empowers them all the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's
Yeah.
there's one thing, like, and it's so important to put it out there, is, you know, with the different people that, if they're linking in with this call here or listening to it afterwards, definitely, you know, link in with friends. But what I would say, and it's this, I don't mean a word of caution, maybe that's too strong, but, you know, if when you're talking about your vision, your inner dharma, your life's purpose, your passion, you know, it's one of the most precious things you have. And especially in the beginning, you know, choose the person that you open up to in conversation wisely, you know, because, you know, we all have pasts, and we all have, like, in a lot of senses, we can have a fear of rejection or fear of failure, fear of being laughed at. There's a lot of this. So we might be ashamed of ourselves. We mightn't have the self-esteem that, you know, if that one person sort of laughs, well, then we trap it up for another 10 years. And I know in myself, you know, I opened up to certain people in the beginning, and I got stung. I ended up like leaving it for another year to sort of start doing videos online, because somebody close to me sort of slated maybe one of the first few videos I did. So, you know, find a person that you can trust. And I literally put it out there, you know, there's you, Fergus, there's myself. I'm coach powerful men. Fergus, like, you know, connecting with the likes of yourself, Fergus, or myself, or somebody else, some other coach. It doesn't actually have to be us, but find somebody that you know you can trust. You know that they know that what you have to say is so precious, is so sacred to you, that they're going to listen to you. They're going to ask you, you know, the right questions to bring that out. Could be a family friend. You could have that perfect person there. Definitely connect, but, you know, just connect wisely in those first baby steps, if that's the point that you're on. Now, look, if you have a pretty good grounded idea of who you are and the vision you want to do, well, then, sort of balls of steel, just go on, just right off into the sunset, and that horse like screaming, this is what I'm freaking well doing. I'm a visionary. I'm going for it. You know, I'm not saying you have to be timid. I'm not. It just depends where you are in the journey.
Yes, for sure. And that's actually a great point, and that's a great way to actually end this interaction, because that's a great action step for people to go and do, is to reach out to somebody. It can be, I have my own coaching business, you have your coaching business going, and basically I'm here to listen. I'm here to ask you questions that facilitate that journey and facilitate you finding your truth and finding what your passions are. And that's really amazing stuff, amazing interaction that we've had just here, Mark. I just want to acknowledge you for coming on this call. It's the only reason I would go on for another like hour, but I'll be in the pitch black and you'll be there in the light, and it'll be like I'm your alter ego or something like that going on. So I'm going to leave it right here.
Alter ego.
Yeah.
If that's my alter ego speaking to me, okay.
Maybe it's your guiding conscience. I don't know. But thank you
Listen,
everybody for
Fergus,
joining. And what were you going to say, Mark? Go ahead.
No, look, it's just wonderful. Thank you for inviting me on. And yeah, look, the light has beat us this time, but I'm ready and willing to jump on again here. We're only getting going. We're only getting going with this, and, you know, thanks, full acknowledgement to the people that did actually link in. You know, thank you. It's a sacred thing. Like, you give your time and your attention, you turn up. You know, that's my life purpose. That's your life purpose now, is to actually connect with people and help them connect with it. Just a little thing, because I know sometimes it works in people's heads. The way I work, I don't know, Fergus, I don't want to speak for you, but it's like, if you link in with myself, first conversation, even 2-3 conversations, they're free. They're put there free. So just to make sure that we get to the right vision that is working long term. That's how I work. I don't know, Fergus, what way you work. It's just to make sure it's clear in people's heads that you're not going to be slapped with a big price first off, or you get a chance to feel what it's like, what coaching is like. Because if you don't know what coaching is like, you can sort of have these preconcepts of, no, it's not going to be nice. No, it's the way I do it is you get time to sort of just feel into it and experience it, and just learn that, can you trust that experience with me. Fergus, what way are you doing it, Fergus, just for people listening in?
Yeah, I'm really creating a space for people to connect with that vision, and allowing people to see that the only thing holding. Yeah, okay. He said we're locking up. So the way I love to do it is I love to listen to people and facilitate and ask the questions for them to find out what their passions are, and that really is in the form of they come on a coaching call with me. I talk to them like it's not. If you've never been coached before in your life, the power of it. I've had so many coaches that have gotten me to this point, and they might be ordinary people on the street that I've just talked to. But I really facilitate that space in you, and I figure out what your internal blocks are that hold you back, because that is the only thing that stops you. And I really want to inspire people that way, is just to jump on a call with me, figure it out. It's a free 90-minute call on the first time you come on with me anyway. So it's really, you're not losing anything by coming on the call. And you really connect with what you love to do and the impact that you can have on the world. And I'm sure that's what you do as well, Mark. So I'm going to get kicked out right here. So thank you so much for joining, Mark. It's been a pleasure. Okay. So
thank you, brother Fergus. It has been epic.
Yes, we'll do it again for sure. Thanks everyone for joining again. We'll see you on the next one.